Jim Lance of Grantham, New Hampshire, worked in the oil industry throughout his professional career. His responsibilities took him around the world and into the Middle East, where he met Italian journalist Yasmin Perni. Their families have kept in close personal contact over those many years. Yasmin has been traveling throughout the United States presenting her completed documentary on the plight of Christians in the occupied areas of Israel. While she and her family visited Jim, he suggested a screening of her film at the Library Arts Center in Newport. YCN caught up with her before the showing of her film recently.
The Palestinian Christian community is a very special community. This is where it's all started.
Christians have lived continuously throughout the Middle East since the day of Pentecost, more than 2,000 years ago. They are the descendants of those early followers of Christ, yet few are even aware of their existence.
The film came about because I was shocked when I moved to Jerusalem, what it means to live under occupation. I didn't realize how hard it is to have to go through checkpoints, to have separate license plates, Palestinians and Israelis, to just the daily hardship of living in a situation where you're controlled, your movements are controlled. That was shocking to me because I never really felt, I watched the news, but the news always focuses on violence. And the daily life of the Palestinians had been completely ignored as far as I was concerned.
There can be no excuse for the illegal and arbitrary confiscation of furniture and household belongings.
The story of the Christian population is very much the story of all the Palestinian people because they all lived together. And before 1948, Jewish people lived together too.
كانت ساعة سودة لما قعدوا فجروا البيوت مشان يقطعوا لنا الأمل ما نرجعش.
They were always crying and asking God, what have we done?
I chose as an example a Christian village that was, I think it was not 100% Christian, but I think they lived only 2 Muslim families. The great majority was Christian. But I chose only the Christian village because I wanted to tell their story. And it's a very powerful story because their village was destroyed. Was bombed by the Israelis to prevent them from going back, and the majority of the population lives nearby, but it's not allowed to move back to their own village. Some of them live 4 kilometers away. They can see their village, but they cannot go live in their village because it's a national park now.
Don't come just to run where Jesus walked, but come to meet the living stones.
I would encourage people to travel and see for themselves. I would encourage to go beyond the network news. Go on Facebook, go on Twitter, follow journalists who are not the main media.
My youngest son, he said, Mom, after what we suffered and born, this is the end, is to bury us alive in a big tomb forever.
It's really impossible that you can live in peace and hide the problem behind the wall because it will explode. So if you want to live in Israel, you have to let the Palestinians also have peace. And then you can live together. This is what I hope, and this is my hope that comes out through the film, at 2 people living in one land in peace. It's possible.
The tragedy of all wars is the victimization of the civilian populations. We now see this every day in the Middle East and the Ukraine. In the discussion afterwards, Yasmin made a point that she did not sanction the acts of Hamas, but was trying to bring the perspective of everyday people forward. We would like to thank Yasmin and Jim Lance for making this showing possible. If you would like to learn more, go to the website thestonescryoutmovie.com.